I've been doing a lot of consultations lately, and most of my clients, I would say 60 to 70%, ask me about one of these. So I'm sure a lot of you out there have the same questions. So I'm going to talk about 3 trends today. The first one is all of those Pdrn creams that are all over the place. We'll talk about exosomes, and we'll talk about the skin cycling trend that's sticking around now for a few years. But just because something sticks around, it doesn't mean that it's working. It sticks around because it has very strong marketing, and a lot of times people are coming to me because they've had issues following those trends. So we'll get to the bottom of all 3 today. So I'm going to talk about how these treatments work at a cellular level, where the claims fall apart in some cases, and what to do instead for real age reversal. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Nadia Ben-Shakroun, your guide to better skin naturally. I'm very biased towards biology, science, and what actually works. There are so many things we can do for our skin to aid our very best without attacking the skin with all of these trends. If a trend fights your biology or your mitochondria or your delicate barrier, I don't care how viral it is, it's an automatic no. Okay, let's start with Pdrn, what it is, how it works, and where the real data is. Pdrn is a mixture of DNA fragments extracted from salmon sperm. First of all, ew. Second, let's actually see if it works. In medicine, when injected, Pdrn activates adenosine A2A receptors, increasing pro-repair signals and fibroblast activity. This is why it has evidence for wound healing and dermal remodeling. But the key word here is when it's administered intradermally, meaning injected in the skin. Pdrn molecules are large. They're too big to pass through the skin when applied topically. That means those Pdrn creams are impossible to penetrate the skin unless there is a delivery system like an open pathway when you do microneedling. But before you reach for those needles, please watch my microneedling video because it's very eye-opening. Not everyone is a candidate for it. So we absolutely must distinguish between the application of Pdrn in a lab setting when it's injected in a medical setting versus when it's applied topically in a cream. So those creams, if they say Pdrn on them, they get a 1 star from me. So until there is solid clinical evidence that Pdrn creams work, we need to see that evidence of delivery systems. To me, all these miracle promises and age reversal promises are just marketing jargon. And I know some of you have asked me in the past about the medical Pdrn that's injected, and some have shared that they've seen results. For me personally, it is not something I'm curious about. I would never try it. I would not inject my skin with salmon DNA or salmon sperm. There is so much that can be done naturally to get that glowing, healthy, firm, plump skin without having to torture those poor animals. Now, let's have a chat about exosomes. Exosomes are tiny little messengers that cells use to send proteins, fat, and genetic material to each other. In medicine, they're being studied for healing and drug delivery. However, in cosmetics, the term is being used very loosely. Some come from stem cells, some come from animals, and some are from plant sources. And there's absolutely no standard on how much to use, how pure they should be. Remember, some of them come from animals, and there's no standard on how stable they are in a cream. In fact, the FDA made it very clear that exosomes are not approved for use, whether in skincare or medicine right now. So when a serum is claiming to have medical-grade exosomes, that is just a marketing claim. They're not even supposed to use them. And I feel that the concern is very valid because exosomes carry active biological signals. Poor purification or sourcing can send the wrong messages to your cells. We don't need to go that far. So many people today are taking so many risks with their health, with their skin, just in the name of firmness. Meanwhile, the answers are right in front of them, and we'll get to those. Now, let's talk about skin cycling and why smart irritation is still irritating. Skin cycling is when you rotate exfoliants with actives and rest days, and that way it's a more gentle approach on the skin, but is it really gentle? So the skin cycling schedule looks something like this. Let's follow the days of the week. Monday would be an exfoliation with an alpha hydroxy acid / beta hydroxy acid, depending on your skin. Generally, you would use glycolic or salicylic acid or both. Tuesday would be a powerful prescription retinoid like tretinoin. And then Wednesday, Thursday is a rest day, so you don't use any of those actives, and then back to exfoliating Friday. But when you really think about it, using powerful exfoliants like glycolic acid and retinoids like tretinoin cause a lot of irritation that 2 days break may not give you enough time to recover. That still can be a lot for your skin when you are using powerful formulations that can cause a lot of damage, and that damage can take weeks to heal. It will not heal within 2 days. So what matters mostly here is the concentration and the quality of the product, the delivery system, so much more than just frequency. What we need to do is flip that schedule on its head. The more sound and skin-friendly approach is to focus on that barrier repair 4 days a week at least, but actually every single day. You can still do 2 days a week of a retinol or retinoid, but I recommend ones that are gentle, that are over the counter, not a high concentration, that's a prescription. And as far as exfoliation, I would limit it to once a week, twice on occasion when there is a concern that we're trying to address. So let's say a client has hyperpigmentation or scarring or some type of issue that we're trying to fix, then twice a week might be appropriate. But for day-to-day skin maintenance, twice a week is too much. And I don't even like glycolic. The most recommended exfoliant by most dermatologists, I don't recommend it. It's just too much for the skin. It's too active, it's too strong, too thin. It penetrates deeper, so it can cause a lot of irritation. There are much better skin-suited exfoliants that you can use, like lactic acid and mandelic acid. The skin can tolerate them, and they do the job beautifully. What's very often missed in standard advice, especially by practitioners, is that they treat everyone like they have diseased skin or problematic skin. And so there's this massive focus on over-exfoliation and powerful retinoids, which renders people with terrible skin and many issues. And I see this day to day. Those solutions can work, but for the very short term and very carefully. For your daily skin maintenance that focuses still on firmness, elasticity, hydration, you want to follow what I call the TBD method of application. It's a method that I created, so TBD is for the beauty doctrine, and that focuses on the right order of use. It's minimal, so it's introducing less irritants to the skin, less preservatives, but encompassing and covering all of the actives your skin needs, just in the right concentration, nothing that's going to irritate the skin. That's the only way to ensure improvement in the skin. So you are protecting it every single day. You are giving it that nourishment, antioxidants, everything that it needs every single day. And then your exfoliation schedule depends on your very skin concerns and the target, what you're trying to achieve. It should never be a set exfoliating routine that's twice a week with powerful actives. That's how you get to having sensitive skin. And don't get me started about retinoids, and I'm talking about prescription retinoids. They have a very long list of side effects. I do not touch my skin with them. I made it to 48 years old without wrinkles, not having ever used a prescription retinoid. I love some vitamin A on my skin, but in a low dose that my skin can tolerate without peeling, stinging, redness, none of that. You can find the TBD method on my website, which is thebeautydoctrine.com. I will also drop a link in the description below. This is the Beauty Doctrine, and that means we're not reliant fully on skincare. Skincare, I call it the cherry on top. Even though being a 30-year skincare expert, I can tell you skincare can do very little for the skin in the absence of a healthy lifestyle. So let's get to what truly is going to impact your DNA, your cells, your longevity, age reversal, and so on. Number one, you need to support your cells from the inside. Your fibroblasts, that's where collagen is made, need energy much more than collagen. We need to be boosting them every day. You can boost that with a high quality device. So red light therapy is the first place to start. But let's talk supplements. There are 3 super powerful antioxidants / supplements that will supercharge your mitochondria. The first one is NMN. I adore it. And there's so much research around it. It's been proven to even reverse gray hair. The second one is CoQ10. And number 3 is my absolute favorite, alpha lipoic acid. And you'll find my pre-vetted top choices on my website, thebeautydoctrine.com. Next thing we need to do is to calm inflammation. Many years ago, in my early 20s, I worked for Dr. Perricone. They call him the father of inflammation theory. And just in recent years now, science is starting to discover that inflammation is the real cause of aging. The very first cause is inflammation. So we need to curb it. We need to manage that inflammation. So you can help reduce that systemic inflammation with a good high quality magnesium as well as omega-3 fatty acids. Of course, you need to work on your health. So if you suspect that you have gut dysbiosis or leaky gut, you need additional supplements to target that, because when you have leaky gut, there is systemic inflammation that omega-3 or magnesium are not going to help with. So start with the gut. If you want me to make additional recommendations, just let me know in the comments. To reduce inflammation topically, what you need to do is manage the use of all of those actives that we talked about earlier that are the root cause of inflammation. Instead, you can use things like niacinamide, which is calming, but it's also anti-aging. It helps with so many skin conditions, but use it in the right dose. I have various doses on my website. There's 3%, 5%, and 15%. So they serve different functions on the skin. You can also use azelaic acid if you're acneic. And everybody needs to be using oils that are appropriate for their skin to maintain that lipid barrier, to comfort the skin, protect it, and maintain that elasticity. And lastly, you need to support that collagen. Our collagen is constantly breaking down because of our lifestyles. We lose about 1% starting in our early 20s. At menopause, you lose 30% in the first 5 years of menopause because we lose the precursor. It's our estrogen that sends those signals to our collagen to be produced. So we need to, first of all, pay attention to that. So if you're in that stage, you want to work with a good practitioner, and I emphasize good practitioner that can help you with HRT if that's something that you are willing to consider. But before that, like I said, we lose collagen. Starting our early 20s, we need to start preserving it and regenerating it. And we do that by protecting with a good sunscreen. We do that by consuming enough protein and enough collagen. I like wild-caught collagen, not bovine, not chicken, but also by maintaining our levels of vitamin C and minerals, because our bodies, our skin cannot generate, cannot make or synthesize new collagen without minerals like magnesium, zinc, copper especially, and silica, and then of course vitamin C. And that's the recipe that's going to give you that firm skin without having to resort to fake Pdrn and exosome creams. They're not going to do nearly what a good anti-aging diet can. If you found this helpful, please subscribe for more functional beauty insights and consider becoming a paid member, or even better, a VIP insider on thebeautydoctrine.com. It's going to help fund all of the research, and we're working on building a website where you can go and vet any skincare product. It's a huge project, so we need your help and your support. Now I need to hear from you. Have you tried any of these trends that I talked about today? Please share your comments, because we are here to learn from each other in the comment section. Until the next video, be well, be safe, be beautiful. Take care.